If we all die in the end and none of it matters, what's the point in living? There's not much else to do. You have consciousness now. Why not use it to make you feel something other than void? Optimistic nihilism is a beautiful thing. Learn to take pleasure in the absurdity of it all. Edit typo. Thanks phone. Why does there need to be a point? Edit. This is basically a philosophy commentary, so I have to point to Kierkegaard as a personal fav. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. Why eat a nice meal if, once you've eaten it, it's over? Have you tried the French toast? Be excellent to each other. To have one hell of a time getting to the end. If it doesn't matter and you're just here waiting to die, make it fun. What's fun depends on what you think is fun though. So do what's fun for you. To crush your enemies. See them driven before you? And hear the lamentations of their women. The journey is the point of living. What's the point in living? There is no point. Meaning is a human construct. It doesn't occur naturally in nature. So there is no true meaning or point in living. Whatever individual and fake reason, meaning or point you yourself decide is good enough to keep you going is the right one. Life is set of mini orgasms until death makes you squirt. My buddies and I just had a conversation like this actually. It went something like, if life doesn't matter we should just kill ourselves. You first, no, you first, and so on. Personally, the point of my life is being entertained. If nothing matters then you might as well enjoy living while you can. Remember that your life will end no matter what, so you might as well have a bit of fun before you die. What's the point of tucking in the bed covers in the morning when they're going to crumple anyway? At night? What's the point of scoring an A+ in kindergarten when no one will ever ask you about these in life? What's the point of getting into a relationship when you're 14 years old when you know you're going to go your separate ways anyway? What's the point of spending hundreds of rupees on waxing and threading when the hair is going to grow back every time? Dear friend, if you start looking for a point in every single thing that you're doing in life, then you will realize that there's very little that actually makes logical sense. Even existence doesn't make much sense. But did you notice what's common in the activities I mentioned above? All of the things I've mentioned above gave us momentary pleasure. We tuck in bed covers to get the satisfaction of sleeping in a comfortable, well-made bed. We score well in kindergarten to feel good about reaching our potential. We get into relationships when we're 14 to cherish the company of our partner. We wax our hair to enjoy the feeling of smooth skin and an attractive appearance. Although it's a very weird social obligation that I don't really like. We don't live our life to meet some ultimate, God-given purpose or point. We just live. We live to be happy and make others happy. Within this tiny span of 70-odd years that we have, the point, if I may say, is just to be happy and satisfied. We only have to die once. One day and poof, we'll be gone. But we have to live for more than one day. Maybe 1,000, 10,000, lots of days. And so, the whole point become to live a life so beautiful. It outweighs the heaviness of that one day when everything will be over. Just live. Forget the point. Think about the whole plane. For the pursuit of happiness. Cheesiest thing I've probably ever said, but it's the truth. Just do whatever makes you happy. Unless it's hurting you or someone else. And you know if what makes you happy does happen to hurt someone or yourself, then goddamn bro, you need a therapist because I can't help with that. If none of it matters in the end, then why do you have a tilt in one direction? Why is not fighting or giving up the default stance in a meaningless world? Either choice should hold the same weight if everything is truly meaningless. If there is a direction in life that even has the slightest chance of adding some sort of meaning to your life, then you should walk in that direction. Maybe then something will matter. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose, right? Just because I'm an optimistic nihilist, so I don't believe there's a greater reason we're here or whatever. We just are. The universe is what it is and doesn't need to explain itself. I see beauty around me and have many wonderful friendships. So I just enjoy what is here for me until I am not here anymore. Why does there have to be a point? None, really. Well, I mean, you're here. Might as well do something. Sure, no one will remember you, and eventually we'll all be dead. But what's to stop you from having a great damn time while you can? Right, we're on a tiny dot in the middle of a black abyss. So just enjoy the people you have around you or the ones you can find. Dying does not make our time here less valuable. It's the opposite. In the words of a wise golden Labrador, the universe is a cruel, uncaring void. The key to being happy isn't a search for meaning. It's to just keep yourself busy with unimportant nonsense. And eventually, you'll be dead. Is this where we say something like the point is to have lived? Enjoy it. Life is like that kitten picture you didn't ask for, but you're still grateful. Someone needs to look after the dogs. To produce dopamine and be as happy as can be. Why live a sad life? It might not matter, but a sad life is worse than a happy one. Trying to do the best of it when we can. Basically, I suggest you read The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus, or at the very least a summary of it. He explains this question in the essay. Hello, 21F here. In the face of everything going on in the world right now and all the evils we face on a day-to-day basis, what keeps you hopeful and fighting? Love. It's the only thing that makes any of this make any sense at all. It matters because we live and die. We're a part of something greater than ourselves. Something forever evolving and unchanging. The point of living is living itself. Your life is unique as is what you do with it. Even if it's stress eating on a couch while binging a Netflix series for a day so you have the strength to be an adult tomorrow. We're alive. Tiny specks of leftover space dust flying through an infinitely large space on a dirt ball. Today will never happen again. So do the small things that make you happy. To paraphrase my boy Shakespeare, 'tis better to have lived and lost than to never have lived at all. Or in the words of my dad, you gotta die of something. So do something you like doing and chill out until you die. There isn't one. To just try and enjoy what you can while you can. We can do so much more cool stuff while we're existing than when we are not. Oreos. It matters while we are here, and that's enough for me. Because that's how we are. We have a drive to survive. And if going with the system allows that, then we simply go with the flow. Unfortunately, the system is far from perfect, but what's the alternative? In the words of Debbie Hyman, life is a banquet, and death is the dessert. The experience. Having fun. Enjoying time with your friends. Rich people mostly are just getting drunk in a nicer house. Don't stress so much. For me at least, there's no point. Too many existential crises and time sucked away by bipolar depression lead me to that conclusion. It's a freeing concept. I'm just here for the ride. Cool and all considering. The past few years have been enjoyable. And none of it matters. Says who? My life matters to me. Just because something isn't permanent doesn't mean it's worthless. You have to find something meaningful that makes it worth living. For me personally, it was someone that I liked. But I am definitely in the same boat as you. I live the same day every day. Doing the same thing every day. And I absolute dread having a job. Banana bread. Probably. You can think like that. Sure. I won't say, but I will just say what I think of life. After thinking the same way as you do for a while, based on the question at hand, and having changed, I went from what's the point to holy shit, I can do whatever I want to do. Literally. I can't park here? Sure I can, but it'll be 150 pounds. I can't drink on the street? Sure I can, but it'll be 30 pounds. It's basically a rich man system. Now I'm no rich man, but I'm optimist. I saw the solar system and I realized we can't see shit that's going on here from out there. Think about it. Billion of papers. Formal speaking. Polite and impolite. People in prison, etc. Nothing can be seen from afar. Also, if you die, you die. No way of changing that. So what's the point? The point is that 5 billion years ago you didn't exist. You do now. And if you're lucky, you'll continue to exist for 80 to 90 years. Then you'll return to not existing. You are a guest, and you have been given an extraordinary gift. But at the end of the day, you are a guest and must leave. So do what you can. Keep yourself checked at the doctor. Keep yourself surrounded by friends. Suffer 1 year in a shitty sales advisor job and save money to apply for a qualification. Nutritionist, personal trainer, whatever. And then be your own boss. Move to Greece or Dubai. Go to the beach every day. Get a bike and mountain hike the shit out of the mountain. Do whatever you want. You are in complete control. Unless you're an Uber driver and someone says left here, please. But it's still an amazing illusion. Nonetheless, cheerio. What is the point of watching a movie if it is bound to end anyway? A good cup of coffee. That's my view. Dopamine equals good. Maximize good. If you already have to live, just do stuff that makes you not sad. At the very least. After all, you are a biological system inside a social system. Only one of them can exist at once. And you need to choose which. When you make that choice, you'll know what to do. Waves lap against a shore and disappear. But remembering the sound makes me smile. Every flower will eventually wilt. But that doesn't stop me from cherishing them. Every raindrop has a purpose. Even though I can never meet them all. It's doing whatever the fuck you want to do and enjoying it guilt-free. That's the point of living. You are a mistake. We all are. The framework we are born into is artificial. Start looking for your animal because there you will find the answer you seek. Domestication was never a good move for our species. Fun. Honestly, that's it. Also, you can try to make life better for the people who come after you. Nihilism and despair aren't the same thing. You can believe everything is pointless and still enjoy life. To evolve the species. For friends and family around you. Although you may not believe your memories and life are worth it. You can live and make memories for your friends and family around you to enjoy. I always thought this short animated talk by Alan Watts gave a succinct answer to this kind of question. To experience the journey. Having fun. Living is the point. You get one try, so you might as well try your best to crush your enemies. See them driven before you and hear the lamentations of the women. Of course, journey matters. Let's be positive. Living. The sooner you realize it, the better. Why does there have to be a point? We're just sophisticated monkeys with opposable thumbs and the ability to speak. A quirk of evolution. My advice is to eat, drink, bring up kids, and enjoy your life. It's the only logical response to this bizarre reality we inhabit. I'm just grateful I get to experience it. Life in every form is just such an interesting phenomenon. And out of all the life forms, I even got to be one that's capable of reflecting upon its own existence. That's a pretty big W in itself. No matter what worldly struggles await me, the joy's the journey, not the destination. Don't think of life as a commute to work. Think of it as a long and lazy drive in the countryside. What does it mean for something to have a meaning to begin with? I think that should be a step in answering your question. We are, as far as we know, the only living beings in the universe. It's just us. That we even exist is something that seems to defy the odds. Life is the point. That there isn't anything else is what makes it so special. You are here. You are the only you that will ever exist. We are all the onlyest that will ever exist. How is that not amazing? Humans don't even know where consciousness comes from. Where the part that makes us is inside ourselves. We're endlessly fascinating and unique in a singular way that, as far as we know, has never and will never be replicated. To me, that in itself is the point of living. Because I got lucky enough to exist and I'm the only one that ever will, so I want to spend every second making the most of it. The fact that it ends is terrifying but also motivating. Because it's gonna be over someday. Maybe tomorrow. So now is all there is and I should make it good. To pass on our genetic material. You get to bang hot ladies sometimes and candy is tasty. But if you don't live, You never get to eat tacos. But really it's the little things that matter as much as any big overall meaning to it all. Playing with a kitten, enjoying food and beautiful weather in the company of those you care about, learning something cool, creating something however small, and of course, building a world that will let future generations experience the same little pleasures. In the end, the real question is, how does one even define whether something matters or not? You may say that we all die in the end and nothing matters. But what does it really mean to matter in this sense? In the microcosm, something matters if someone cares about it, positively or negatively. We assign significance to things based on how they affect us and how they change, or fail to change, our lives. How is this any different in the grand scheme of things? There is no framework for something to matter or not matter without a conscious life to think about it and care about it. We create and assign meaning by our very existence. Without life, even the concept of meaning is meaningless. I choose to interpret this as life having and creating its own meaning inherent in its existence, even after life ceases to exist, because we've all died in the end. That doesn't go back retroactively and prevent things from having meaning while we all were alive. Meaning doesn't have to be eternal to be valid.